Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, the first thing that I want to talk about this week is something that there's no doubt about it. You've probably already heard it and you've already seen it, but it's the Always Fiending video from Fiend, obviously. This video has an all-star lineup of people in it. We've got Lewis Mills, Ty Morrow, JJ Palmer, Antonio Chavez, Matt Clausen, Maddie Lagoidi, pronunciation, I'm sorry, Augie Simoncini, and Johnny Rakes. It was edited together by Tony Ennis, who also filmed. There was a whole bunch of other people that filmed it as well. Ben Norris, Calvin Kosovich, Alex Donachie, and Garrett Reynolds. And all I have to say about this video is that you just have to watch it. You've probably seen Scotty's video where he literally says every BMX rider on the planet needs to watch this video, and that is the truth. There's just so much crazy progressive stuff in here. So many tricks that I don't think anyone else has ever done before, or maybe even thought of for that matter. And if there was any doubt in your mind whether or not Garrett Reynolds was the best BMX rider on the face of this earth, this video will settle that doubt, because Garrett is one-upping tricks in here that only he could do 5 years ago that no one else has done since, and he's adding tricks to them. And Garrett wasn't the only one throwing down in this video. Every single person in here deserved to be in this video and absolutely killed it. A few of the standouts for me was one, Colin Varignac's 180 tail whip up a rail hop into a bank that was at the top of the rail hop. He had a couple crazy grind to grinds too, where he's going from one grind, 180ing out of it, hard 180ing out of it, to fakey grind on the other side, and then he even came back to the other side and grinded and then did a trick out. And then you've got Johnny Rakes, whose brain seems to compute on an entirely different level of quickness when it comes to BMX tricks. This dude is going from grind to grind to grind to grind to grind to spin to grind to spin to grind to trick out, and it's honestly mind-blowing to watch this dude do all of his stuff. And just like how Garrett is so far ahead of the game right now, Johnny is in that place when it comes to crank flips in and out of things. He's just throwing crank flips into places that don't even seem possible to throw crank flips. And then you've got Lewis Mills, who's just absolutely on another level of his own. And honestly, I'm gonna stop talking about this video because you guys need to just watch this one. This is the must-watch video of the week. And actually, this is one that I want to hear your guys' thoughts on in the comments down below. So let me know your thoughts, and if you need a link, there's a link in the description down below, as well as links to everything else that I'm talking about today in this video in the order that I talk about it. After that, we've got some sponsor news, and that Mike Stahl is now on the Madera Pro team. I'm not sure how it took this long to happen. This dude has been putting in work for years now, but he's finally on the pro team, and he has 7 minutes to show why in the Madera ABD video that they came out with recently, as well as this 1-minute promo video of clips that didn't make the cut for his section. And in the description on this video, I want to say what they had to say about this. It says, over the 3 years we spent making the full-length Madera ABD video, Mike busted ass more than anyone on the team, and that earned him a spot on the Madera Pro team. These clips are leftovers that didn't make the cut for a 7-minute masterclass in all things BMX. So psyched for you, Mike. And after that, we can talk about a whole bunch of videos that came out this week. So for the first one, we'll take it out of the streets and into the indoor skate park with Drew Bezanson in a video called Drew Bezanson at All In Skate Park. And this video is from DK. And with this one, if you know Drew Bezanson's riding, you know what you're going to get from this. And the very first clip is a perfect example of that, in that he's doing a giant caveman drop in out of the rafters at this skate park. And then everything else is just go fast, go high, stall on high things, hit huge wall rides, and do big tricks, and go upside down, and all of the other Drew Bezanson insanity, all to a song that I'm not sure if it's actually classic rock, because it might have been made recently, but it sounds like classic rock, and I actually really like this song, so I'm probably going to look up the band. But either way though, that's what you're in for with this Drew Bezanson video. And you might be asking yourself, what is this blue thing that magically appeared in this video? To be totally honest, it's like 80 degrees in here and I am burning up and sweating. So rather than taking off this hat and forcing you to look at my hair that everyone hates, I'm going to put this ice pack on and just continue with the video. So the next video I want to talk about is a quick power hour video from some of the guys on the GT team at the Full Factory Warehouse ramps, Mason Ritter, Tristan Cooper, and Leandro Moriera. This is a quick one, but it is a good one. If you guys are fans of any of these guys riding, you're definitely going to want to check it out. It's at least worth your time. And then after that comes a video from someone that you might not have heard of yet, but my buddy Spencer Scott sent me this video from a recent trip that he took to North Carolina for work, and I just had to share it in this news video. Spencer is one of those guys that rides exactly the way that most of us wish that we could ride. He does giant tabletops. He can do 1-foot tabletop airs to look back, big nothings and Supermans, and just flowy style all over the skate park trails or whatever he's riding. And with that, That is what this video is full of, and it's definitely got an unconventional song for BMX these days, and I definitely think that you guys would enjoy it if you're into that kind of riding, concrete skate parks, trails. He even rode the Florida brick quarter pipes in this video, so do me a favor and definitely check this one out and let me and him know what you think of it. Next up, we've got another video from GT. This time it's with Dan Conway riding the ramps and stuff that he has in his driveway, kind of similar to the video we talked about last week with Mad Mike riding the stuff that he has around his house. It started out with another message of what he's been doing around during the time of everything that's going on right now, how he's coping with it, and then talking about what he's riding. And I like that he talked about how he's riding his spine and bringing back a bunch of lip tricks that he hasn't really messed with in a while, and then it goes into him actually doing those lip tricks and riding some of the other rails and ledges and stuff that he has at his house. And then at the end we get a little bit of a surprise in that it cuts to him playing a bass guitar, and it shows that the song that we heard in the video, or the music we heard, was actually him playing his guitar, and he said he picked that up during everything going on as well. And then he says to stay safe and 6 feet and all that stuff. And honestly, I just really like the way that GT is going with what they have going on. They're sending positive messages while also promoting riding and just in general doing a lot for their riders, putting all of this stuff out there and promoting them. And I really, really enjoy it. So definitely check that one out if you guys are into lip tricks. And then after that comes a bunch of videos that I thought were worth mentioning, but I didn't really want to talk in depth about. The first one is with Riley Smith, and it's a We the People video. Then after that, we've got another Source 2020 Battle of Hastings qualifier video contest submission video from Trey. I got it all right until his name. From Trey Turner. This has a whole bunch of ledge grinding and hang nothings in Trey's signature style. Then after that, we've got a promo video for Colony's new full-length video that's coming out, and it's called Take a Ticket. And I'm honestly stoked for this one, especially after watching the promo. Colony has a whole bunch of riders that are going to bring something completely different to the table compared to most of the other full-length videos that we see coming out. Most of them have street riding and only street riding, because that seems to be the only thing that people are making full-length videos out of. But Colony, based on this promo video, has nothing but skatepark footage. That's all that was in here. Had Clint Miller doing lip tricks, Alex Heim doing his thing, Chris James in here going fast as hell the way he always does. And honestly, like I said, I'm just stoked for it, and I think that some of you guys will be stoked for it as well, because it's just something different in a full-length video. And then the last few videos that I have to talk about are all longer for those of you who want something longer to watch. The first one is another S&M TV. I think this is episode 3 at this point, and it's Fathead versus Kareem. It's basically the same concept as the past couple episodes, except this time Fathead and Kareem are actually bantering back and forth through the video internet world, and it's just a couple seconds over 12 minutes long. Then after that, we've got one that's just under 10 minutes long. This one actually comes from Eddie Cuellar, and it's basically just a long video that he put together through his travels throughout the past couple years. And there are a lot of shredders in this video. I'll read off the list for you. We've got Mark Burnett, Denham Cox, Brandon Began, Louis Colacione, Ethan Corrier, Grant Smith, Hobie Doan, Yumi, Devin Smiley, and too many to list is what it says. So if any of those things sound intriguing to you and you want a longer video with those guys, you definitely are going to want to catch this one. Then after that comes a video that you probably have heard of and most of you might have seen already, but it's the Chapped Clips video from Sunday. This one is over 15 minutes long of them absolutely shredding on a trip that they took out to Vegas. And once again, this one has an all-star cast of people that I will list for you. We've got Brett Silva, Brock Rafer, Julian Arteaga, Aaron Ross, Gary Young, Eric Elstrand, Jake Seeley, Alex Seaman, Jared Duncan, and Justin Schuall. That's a lot of people who absolutely shred, and there is a lot of shredding in this one. 15 minutes, 45 seconds of it to be exact. And then the last video that I have to talk about is even longer than that. It is actually 26 minutes long, and it's called Whammo 2020 Second Wind. And this is pretty much a full-length video with a whole bunch of different people in it. And to name a few, I'll take them from the description. We've got obviously Craig Passero, Justin Cobell, Joel Fortin, Louis Colacione, and way more according to the description. And like I said, it's 26 minutes long, so if you guys are into longer videos, this is going to be the one to check out for this week. And that's the last video I have to talk about this week. And after that, we've got some interview stuff to talk about. Honestly, this was a pretty light week in the world of BMX news. It seems like that Always Fiending video came out and everyone else was like, I can't even touch this, so I'm just not even going to try. We're going to wait till next week to put out our videos. Maybe that's the case, Probably not, but either way, there's a few more things to talk about. The first is another Palaver podcast called What a Feeling, and it's kind of like the last one where it's just Doyle talking about things for about 40 minutes. And then after that comes a video that I wanted to talk about called The Story of Ramped Construction. You guys might have heard of Ramped Construction, you might not have. They built Adam LZ's backyard ramp. They built a whole bunch of other amazing backyard ramps all around literally the entire country. They built Marcus Christopher's ramp, who's local to me, and they just do an absolutely amazing job. And if you haven't heard of them, you may have heard of the person who runs Ramp Construction, Corey Wiergowski. He was a pro BMX rider who was just amazing on another level of just like, he seems like one of those people that could do anything that they could possibly want to do. He could go and do crazy street stuff and crazy tech street maneuvers, and then go and do a 360 tail whip to fakie on a quarter pipe right afterwards. Corey absolutely shredded, and then this video kind of tells the story of how he got into building ramps and construction in general, because they don't just build ramps at Ramped Construction. And then we had an interview that if you hadn't seen that it was already a thing yet, you probably wouldn't believe that it happened, but it was actually an interview with Miron from Ride On BMX. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it yet, but I know that there's a lot of people who are going to be psyched that this exists. It is a written interview, so you can check out the link in the description below to go over to Ride On BMX's website and take a read on that. And hopefully this might be the first step to getting Miron on a podcast, because that I think would be super awesome. I think there'd be even more people stoked on that. And with that being said, let me know what you guys thought of the Always Fiending video or anything else that I talked about this week. Subscribe if you're new or you haven't yet, so that hopefully we can see you tomorrow for another video. I want to thank you for watching, and goodbye.